Hi and welcome to another gaming video. And in today's video we've had a recent announcement from Nintendo of America that they're intending on shutting down the Wii U and the 3DS online services. So like I say, this came from Nintendo of America. It was a bit of a late night announcement. I think they were trying to just kind of quietly bring this news in that in April 2024 they will be shutting down any kind of online play, online communication for the Wii U and the 3DS platforms. And it's not too much of a surprise. In March 2023 they closed down the eShops for these systems, so we knew that Nintendo were really trying to finish up these two platforms and get them out of the way. They've moved on to the Switch, and it's rumoured that the Switch 2 should be out by about April 2024, so perhaps Nintendo are trying to finish up the Wii U and the 3DS at the same time, so then it would mean that Nintendo are only supporting the Switch and the Switch 2. But online play and online communication for the Wii U and 3DS will be stopped. Now, we don't have full details of exactly what this will entail. We assume that game updates and re-downloading purchases will still be available for the foreseeable, but it is inevitable that that will stop. So if you've got a 3DS and you've made a lot of purchases and you haven't sort of downloaded them onto your system, same with the Wii U, I would suggest that you go along and re-download everything and make sure everything is on that system. Well, this is the big problem I have with online services and online games and games that you've downloaded that you don't own physically. At some point, Nintendo, Sony even, Microsoft, they will stop you from re-downloading what you've already purchased. A few years ago, I think it was about 2021, 2022, Sony announced that they were going to shut down the servers and shops for the PS3 and the PS Vita, and it caused such an uproar online that they reverted it. Those stores and those services are still running for the PS3 and the PS Vita. So maybe Nintendo will get too much of a backlash from the online community and change their mind, but I can't see it. I honestly think that they want to focus more on the Switch and the Switch 2. They only want to sort of keep two platforms alive. So it is sad news for Wii U and 3DS owners. It's the end of an era, so there will be some games. Well, there aren't that many on the Wii U. I think Platoon still has some active online players for the Wii U. Mario Kart 7, that has active players for the 3DS. But as of April 2024, that isn't going to happen. That is it. Zoom. Online play will stop for these services or for these platforms. It's not a shock. Nintendo have been really trying to squash the 3DS for quite some time, but it is what it is. And I think with the 3DS being more online and the Wii U more online than its predecessor, it's going to hit people harder because the online gaming on the DS, it wasn't huge. Same with the Wii, it wasn't massive. So when it came to shutting those down and stopping the eShop on the DS and stopping any kind of online services, it wasn't a big deal. I mean, it upset quite a few people, obviously. But with the Wii U and the 3DS being more in that online world, it's going to hit them harder. It's not going to affect the console itself. It's not going to affect your offline games and your cartridges. You may not be able to access any update data. So I know there were a few games for the 3DS that when you pop a cartridge in, it says, oh, there's an update available. Mario Kart 7 and I think Super Mario Maker, there was an update for those. So maybe sort of a year or two in the future, if you go out and buy a 3DS and you go out and buy Mario Kart 7, you won't get notified of this update because they will shut all of these online services and online communication off. But it really isn't going to affect those like myself who prefer physical cartridges. I mean, I've got DS games that I don't know if any DS games actually got any updates via the web, but it's never affected me, and not being able to update to the latest version of Mario Kart 7 or Mario Maker, or I'm trying to think what other games. There really was only a handful of my games that needed an update, and I say needed, I don't think they needed it. I think they just added in a few little bits, possible little bug fix here and there. So, bit of sad news, but depending on your stance on it, if you're one of these people that are very heavily into buying games online and download them onto your system, then it's going to affect you more than someone like me who relies on physical cartridges. But there you go. As of April 2024, Nintendo of America have just announced that they will be shutting down online communications and online play for the Wii U and the 3DS. So let me know what you think about it. Do you think that Nintendo might possibly change their mind, and maybe they'll get too much hassle from 3DS and Wii U owners? Or do you think it's just, it is what it is, the time has come, it's the world we live in with gaming. At some point in the very distant future, that the Switch is going to end up in this position? I think some of it is because there's no subscription for playing 3DS games online. That is all funded and by Nintendo themselves. But with the Switch, some games you can play online for free, but you do also have the Nintendo online services, which you do pay for. It just kind of takes the onus off of Nintendo for fronting up the whole financial side of that, I suppose. So maybe the Switch will live on a little bit longer, especially if the Switch 2 is backward compatible. It's going to stretch the Switch and the Switch 2, whatever they decide to call it, life even longer. Then you've got the fact that it's not free to play online for most Switch games. I mean, like I said, I think Fortnite, Apex Legends, you can play on the Switch online for free. But there are some games you need a Switch subscription, Game Pass, whatever you call it, NSO. So, yeah, the Switch is going to last a little bit longer than the 3DS did. And Nintendo have really had it in for the 3DS for quite some time. So, let me know what you think. And if there's any further updates, I will let you know. But as of April 2024, the Wii U and the 3DS online servers and online play and online communication will stop. Link, like, subscribe, enjoy.